Back in Jaunpur, because I guess we're actually completely done with Lahura. I thought we had one more thing to do, but no, Jahangir Park is that area over where I did the Zone 22 roof section. So, say goodbye to Venice. It was nice while we were there.
Yeah, and this is going to be... I know people are going to see this. This is the final episode. And, well, how are we going to get from here to the end in 52 minutes? Well, we're going to find out. It's going to be an adventure.
If you thought last time was a fun exercise in trying to make like a shoestring budget work, you ain't seen nothing yet.
We're going to be running through locales faster than Forrest Gump.
And unfortunately, they did get rid of the Mecha Guard there, which is too bad because somebody else might wander into the Zone 22 roofs, and I do not wish that fate on my worst enemy. Mm-hmm. But hey, I mean, the best part about finally finishing this up is that I do have my soul back now, and oh man, this is a real change of scenery. Yeah. Weren't we in just like a desert town a second ago?
Well, we were in Venice, weren't we? And now we're in...
Well, at least like with the separate area, they have something of a... Whatever, let's just roll with it right now.
Okay, so this, my immediate impression is that this looks like a Zelda game, or those are chocobos, so...
Yeah. I wonder if... Okay, let's be honest here. Knowing what we've seen of the rest of the game and the very clear inspirations that they've had, probably. That was probably 100% intentional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this looks like...
God, who even knows?
Village or something, just kind of like... just, there's even a big tree. There's little winding...
We'll be seeing a lot of that tree, because that's kind of... I mean, well, there's exactly 3 things in this area. That feather that I need to go do the resurrection spell. You remember Dagobah gave... I just said Dagobah. Yeah. Gave me that at the end of the Jaunpur arc.
Yoda gave that.
Something that we got to go get in the big tree. And then, of course, way up at the top of this area, there's a little alcove. And on that alcove is the Mystic Gem.
The third Mystic Gem.
Just sitting there.
And I remember
one of those was found in like the ancient tomb of a sorcerer. Another one was found underneath a well with 15 other copies of one. And this one is found getting a little bit of sun.
Yeah, it was just
randomly.
It was like left
Somebody
out.
Misplaced it.
That's where the movers left the key.
Yeah, Of everything that's happened so far, maybe that's the most maybe that's the most ridiculous, but
yeah. I just love
noticing. If you think that's the best it's gonna get, you ain't seen nothing yet.
The mechanics are so funny when you just like do something like that. I've never seen that kind of hopping down a hill like in any game.
Oh god. Remember in that last episode where there was a little lip leading up to the other gem that I had to go get, where it's like my character just kind of vibrated and like fell off to the left?
Mm-hmm.
That's a consistent thing, by the way. Mm-hmm. Happens every time you do it.
Now, this is kind of a cross between Myst, Dark Souls, and Ocarina of Time. 3 of the greatest games ever.
Yes, all many excellent games that I think you are doing a disservice comparing to Omikron.
I don't know. I think it's a little bit better than all 3 of those games, maybe even combined. But
yes, of course.
Of course, this puzzle isn't very good, though. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to spell Kiwan. Kiwan, that's the name of the guy. I kept forgetting that as we were coming up to this section, and I was just like, I have to spell the guy's name, but it's Kiwan. He is well, he's just another mummy. We've seen mummies before. We know how mummies go.
Yes.
Look, we're just going to go talk to him, get into Hamashtagen, and go kill the greatest demon of all time. Whatever. I need to get my soul back already.
Kiwan is notable because actually, next to... This is actually a reference to an Egyptian mummy that they found with a perfectly preserved bowl of rice next to it. And it was high-protein rice.
Really? Is that real?
That's why we call it quinoa. No, it's not.
Oh, for God's sake. I was going to say, it's like, that would explain the Besham. No. Anyway, there's a mummy. It's actually the exact same model that they use for the other one. Cool. Why not? And nice zoom in right on his heart. Give me those rings, though. As always, the most important thing in the game.
Yeah, again, just like left on there. I mean, it's in a mummy's tomb, but it's still kind of like on the veranda. Like, just put it somewhere. Let's go.
Yeah, whatever. Rings are everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't get away from those things there.
When you're not and she's still sucking. Sorry. Again.
Oh my. Anyway. Oh, by the way, this guy's got a great... I know you can't hear it. This guy's got a great voice. It is like me doing the voice for him.
You're a mummy.
What do you want from me, poor mortal? Except throw a little bit more reverb on it, and that's that's what you got. I guess in the same time they were running out of money to create the game, they were also running out of money to pay voice actors.
Are you all
So just get one of the translation team in here, and we'll
I
do it in one take.
I do think that the writing for these kinds of characters is particularly strong. I think that you should assume that your characters will be voiced by ridiculous or good voice actors. And just like everyone you write, like this is a little writing tip, is just write everyone as if they're just a crypt keeper or something. Just like, yes, go to the land of the lost, the city of the dead.
The land of the lost. I think you're kind of confusing. Whatever. Speaking of which, I mean, because this is the final episode and we do record this ahead of time, I have actually gotten my soul back, so it does not really depend on it anymore, but it's like, hey, that at least feels good. If nothing else, I'm just glad they were able to finish the game enough for that to happen. You know, reflecting on it a bit, it's like, I don't even remember. Yeah, no, let me think. Yeah, the Reservoir of Souls, as it turns out, I wasn't even there for all that long. Actually, what happened was the demon tried to throw me into it, but it was just an untextured background with the sign in the middle that said Reservoir of Souls, TBD.
Oh, so they never finished it. Well, then...
I don't think that's surprising though.
So you were Jeff the whole time, or Jeff was you, like that.
Truly, the true Jeff was the friends we made along the way.
What about all those people?
Anyway, I'm gonna open up these shutters and go back to being dead.
What about all those people you killed when you were Jeff? Like those people are still dead. They're. You're a murderer.
Well, look. Our human laws don't extend to other universes yet. Thanks, Obama. But double indemnity. Anyway, these are some great drawings.
Yes. All right.
It's a good thing that I have watched several people play through this game, because otherwise, oh boy. Like trying to figure out, especially where that one underwater lever of the fourth one that we've seen in the game now. Why do they love those stupid underwater levels so much?
Also, this cross section of a geode ass elevator.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the ancients were very talented in cutting open trees. Donkey Kong Country 3 woodworking skills. Yeah. Once again, these references that everybody can enjoy. Yeah, the only reason you even know that's underwater is because they have this weird underwater lighting here. It is hard to find this lever is what I'm trying to get at. And certainly the third grade drawings were not helping either.
Yeah. Like at a certain point,
these had to be placeholders, right?
Everything was done by David Cage at a certain point. Like we don't know exact crunch conditions or what was happening at the office, but we do know that at some point David Cage probably took on every single role to finish this game as the creditors were closing in like hawks.
Oh, yeah. It's like they were taking the keyboard away from him as he was just frantically mashing on it, trying to add gems into random ledges.
Like, please do let me at least maintain my Adobe Photoshop pirated copy so I can add these textures.
Also a pretty difficult thing to find there, because you can easily run right past that area without noticing that you can go inside of it. Well,
I like that.
There's also like some guy up here, I think, that's doing some martial arts that you can possess, but who cares?
I like that fall like that has no consequences. It's just ridiculously stupid and inconvenient. Like, took a wrong
Yeah.
turn.
I mean, it's good for me because I have virtually no health at this point in time, so I kind of need to, like, maybe not lose all of it right now.
So you don't take fall damage for that?
Not in the water, thankfully. I would have taken fall damage if I fell anywhere else.
That is true. Okay. So what is that? Is that a snake's head?
I have no idea what it's. Maybe that's supposed to be Vigramush's head.
Okay.
And by the way, if you got the wrong one of the jewels from the underground Lahura, this is where you would find out about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's very cool. Thank you, David Cage. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's just weird that all these monuments, like, okay, they're just behind the big head is just a stairway down, or just a little ramp.
I mean, given that nobody actually goes to Jahangir or Jahangir Park except for that one guy that I can possess here,
mm-hmm.
I guess just it happens to be so out of the way that nobody would ever find out about it.
So how much game do we have that's left here?
Let's take a look here. Yeah, about a half hour.
There's 41 minutes left.
We got like the ending too.
From here to the end of the game, you think you got rid of the credits because they're David Bowie, right?
Yes, I had to.
Unfortunately.
Also, what was that guy leaning on?
Yeah.
That was not a solid wall.
Okay, so now we're in the cuckoo clock tower section.
Again, way more Zelda-ish.
Yeah,
I think you really nailed it when you said Zelda. I guess this is kind of like taking the place of the fourth quadrant of Omikron. Otherwise,
yeah,
sort of like a city unto itself. Is that a lot more Kashyyyk style, I suppose?
Yeah. Or again,
this is kind of cool.
Kind of reminiscent of Myst, maybe. Like there's literally like a zone in Myst that.
I don't remember that bit.
Okay.
Also, the big bloodstain does make it look like people got slammed into that door trying to get in there. So I don't know if that's quite the goal that you want to accomplish. But hey, there's like blue dudes hanging around now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No.
I don't. And let's just back up. Okay, so where are we? Where are we?
Well, this was supposed to just be a place that led to Hamashtagen, except there's a big stalactite city down here instead. I don't know. They had these assets and they had to put them in somewhere.
Like
they're just like we can't leave out the big stalactite city.
Like
we can't do that.
5 minutes ago, we were in Venice.
Yep. Well, I guess technically not. I did have to go run all the way to Jaunpur and everything, and I tried to go find like some health items, except I couldn't remember where the pawn shop was to sell like that jewel that I've had. There's like one gem that I've had in my inventory the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little bit longer. But hey, now we're finally here and going through these empty rooms filled with clear placeholder giant green buttons on the wall.
Am I losing my mind, or are there people like running ahead of you occasionally?
No, there was like some guys peeking out behind walls. But by the way, if you go and look for them, they don't exist anymore. They're very good at hiding, I guess.
They're very much yub-nub, like it's Ewoks.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, maybe they also are just kind of like falling off of each one of these bridges, considering that the walkways are not connected to each other.
Yeah, just up to your foot, just hit a divot and you just go fly, go down.
For how the rest of this game has been going, it wouldn't have surprised me if I just fell right through there.
Well, the thing is, one thing I like is that the collision engine, it's imperfect, but it usually gives you like a couple of seconds after you run off a ledge to just reflect, hold up a sign that says like, down, this way, down, and you look down and you notice that there's no ledge there, and then you eventually start falling.
And then you die because the fall damage is so incredibly intense in this game.
You fall.
How long is the ring there?
If you fall,
speaking of which,
you lose half your health. I did not know that would happen as I said that.
I told you this place is a death trap. Perfect timing, though.
Like the building codes.
I have no health left. I was actually seriously worried that it's just like, if I accidentally run off a ledge here, which, given how the camera's going right now, I would die. Oh, and this one just automatically goes down because fuck you. Make sure you don't accidentally walk off it.
You have to.
It was actually like some surprisingly generous jumping there. I think I was basically off the ledge when I did that.
Do you actually have to do the jump at the end?
Yeah, I definitely jumped there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like, what, in this episode it's happened? In that one episode, you remember the gigantic industrial fan?
Mm-hmm.
It definitely happened when we were in the Zone 22 roofs. Jumping is terrible. I hate it.
Mm-hmm. I like that elevator doesn't quite come up. Just a little minor thing, but...
Nope. It's just... By the way, I had to interact with that, which is why I was like wondering what was going on for a second.
So
thank God it just randomly opened.
Let's talk about the things that this game did well. Because it did a lot of things well, or it did them at least. It did.
Hey, it was like going perfectly fine at the very beginning.
Well, it wasn't perfectly fine, but it was all right.
Yeah, we get a little bit better look at this guy.
Mm-hmm. They must be really tough fighters.
They must be. I mean, but low, like the like puzzles were halfway decent. Boobs. Like characters were fine. The mystery at the very beginning of the game, I think, was worked.
The twist did not
the
work at all.
Awakened base, as much as it was like not super great in John Per, it got across what you were looking for. But you know, I don't know. It pretty quickly falls off. Boy, the face sinking on Soyinka is maybe some of the best yet.
It looks like her face, like parts of her face are moving independently. Like they
looks like her right eye is just not.
It's just like her face is like moving independent of her head, and then various parts of her face are moving independently of that. It's like an homage to Super Mario 64, like the title screen.
Oh, if only. I would love that.
What if we make her mouth really big and then her nose really small? And then do the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, the Askeels. So yes, these are the new characters that we're seeing now in this stalactite city. All three of them.
And
the two guards and one more that we're going to be
with
seeing.
The mystery of the Askeels. Like, okay.
Also, yeah, like this is such a weird explanation. For all like the magic and weird stuff, it's like now we're going to go back to being like more science fiction-y type, whatever. But yeah, there's the two guards here. I guess there was that one guy that like was peeking at us at the very beginning of the area, and then there's one more character that we're going to meet after talking to Soyinka. And you can go all around this entire city, and that's the only those are the only Askeels that exist in here.
Now, why are they doing this close up on her mouth? Like just to like demonstrate the graphical limitations? Is this like, you know, this is a
It's
graphic
because
test.
pan and zoom is how they made this camera. I don't think it can't not do that.
Exactly. All I know is that the magicians of the ancient
But yeah, I mean, one of the funny things about this entire area is that was clearly supposed to at one point in time be a city and not just a big empty map that you run around in until you get exposition dumped on you from Soyinka.
Yeah, and it's like, why do we
like,
care about the Askeels? Like, why do we care about any of this stuff? Like,
because David Cage couldn't take it out of the game. He wanted to make sure that you saw the Askeels.
We're like a half an hour from the end of the game right now.
Yep.
Less than we're 33 minutes from the end of the game, and
David Cage wanted to make sure you knew about the Askeels and their plight.
And a new goddess, like the goddess queen. Like, we needed to know about this.
We need to know about all of this.
She's an important character in the story of Omikron.
Yes. Yes.
And this is an important city that we immediately are swimming away from.
Again, it's entirely empty except for that one guy that looked at us at the start, the two guards, and this one character I'm going to go talk to right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you can't actually hear. There's like crowd ambience around here, so it was clearly supposed to be a city.
I don't know why. It's just funny that he just like when he's swimming on the surface, he just does that like really like slow like front stroke, just like
And that's the fast swimming. If I was going like slow swimming.
Photo be my name.
Hey, Photo.
Welcome to
Mega honor.
Nomad Soul. Mega honor for me to
I
receive.
can
Nomad
only
Soul.
guess what his
What
voice
can
sounds like
Photo
based on.
do for
I
The
think
way
you
he
know
does.
exactly what his voice sounds
I
like.
I have an uncomfortable
Well,
awareness of it
Nomad
without
Soul
even hearing it.
It'll
Yes.
be great honor for Photo. Take
Can I,
Well, anyway.
present from Photo
At least,
to
I mean-
Nomad Soul.
3. There's 3 of them in here.
and the third one is this.
Not far away.
He's just gonna give you this
That way to
animal. It's
Hamashtagen.
clearly
His
most-
existence is to be like, yeah, please, Mega Honor, take animal.
Yeah. By the way, go like and just, just guide you for closer to the ending. This game, we need you to do something. This guy.
We need to put in all of these things.
Yes.
Look, here's a message to any auteur or people that creator of basically anything. Even don't always stick to your artistic vision. Make sure you compromise so that you don't end up like this game where you just have to slam characters in your face over and over and over
Very,
in just like a desperate attempt to try and approximate what you wanted it to be.
So we have to gain this animal's trust, and we're somehow gonna get to the end of the game in less than half an hour.
Yep.
No mount.
Okay, 30 minutes, 54 seconds. We're doing fine.
Yeah.
Cannot
You would have to be an Azkeel to mount a sham.
Well, what are we gonna do? Shit.
Well, considering there's only 3 of them, it seems pretty obvious.
Well, wait.
But first, there is this other, like, of the few objects that exist in this environment.
Yeah, what are we gonna do though? I don't know what we're gonna do here. This is just seems like an impossible conundrum. We can't.
Nope.
We need to become an
It's impossible.
Azkeel to.
Hey, do I still have that resurrection spell in my inventory? I don't know, maybe.
I love
It would
this-
be kind of hard to get anything else out of my inventory, considering that I think in this city, along with there being virtually nothing else, there are also no, like, item boxes to take out other items.
I like that we're clearly just gonna kill this guy. And that's
What?
Wait. You mean we're actually gonna get another one of them? Like we're gonna find another Azkeel? Oh, we're becoming one. Okay.
So, brilliant professor on the verge of a breakthrough.
Oh.
We need to go get a sham.
Oh my god, we just killed 2 valuable people and replaced with the Nomad Soul, who doesn't even live here.
Yep. Hey, here's Photo. He likes shams, goddess Queen Soyinka, hates violence and danger. And I fucking killed a brilliant scientist.
And a humble farmer. He did nothing to you.
Oh, he did nothing to me.
He did nothing but praise your name and give you and try to help
He
you.
loved me.
He existed to help you. And you
But hey,
did-
I got a sham now.
Oh yeah, hey, badass. That's a
Bye,
cool-
bye, Professor. Thanks for the assistance. Sorry I had to murder you.
This has less commitment to its characters than a fucking WoW side quest.
Oh, by the way, what did I need the sham for?
Like this, I think this,
Da 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 da.
really that's all you need it for.
Yeah, it is really all you need.
So you couldn't have just asked the farmer to move it out.
No, we had to kill that guy.
Oh man.
We had to kill that guy.
I mean, I know with like streaming and stuff, there's performative. That is fucking funny. I am.
Oh my god.
And it really does. It feels like a WoW side quest. I'm not exaggerating. How?
No, not at all. I mean, this entire area is very WoW-like.
Yeah.
Last Tekken fight in the game, by the way.
And they never made these characters interesting. Like there were maybe 1 or 2 that were a little bit cool, that like looked a little bit like mechs, or like okay, it's kind of we've got a tiger stance or whatever. But nope. This is as good as it gets. This is
I don't even know who this guy is supposed to be.
This is the culmination of this mechanic in this game.
Yep. Yeah, and we never doing it again.
Never going
And
back.
one of the best things about like the whole killing yourself on the, I guess, bug spray over there was just the fact that even if you wanted to be like any other character in the game, like there's a lot of characters that are like, hey, this guy looks pretty tough. Mm-hmm. You have to be Photo. Mm-hmm. Fuck you, you're Photo now. And you have to murder them.
Oh my god! And this.
Oh, the life of the Nomad soul. Yeah, it's like speaking of people that I murdered now. I've now murdered 2 people. And those are just the people I possessed. They're not even counting all the other people that I have killed over the course of the game.
And
well, anyway, this is Hamashtagen, City of the Dead. The great necropolis surrounded, protected by 1,000 spells and traps.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere in this labyrinthine labyrinth is the Book of Night. The Book of Night that will allow me to be able to potentially figure out how to defeat Asteroth. It's right here.
I am not.
Hey, it's me. I can't believe you were able to brave the 1,000 traps and etc. to find me, the Book of Night.
There are 1,000 traps, which every mortal is there to. And by 1,000 traps, I mean there's 3 dogs. There's 3 dogs.
It shot a couple dogs and came over here. They were like demonic dogs, though.
Uh-huh.
And you're like wondering, it's like, wait, how are we gonna get to the end in a half hour?
The dead answered.
I like that we're going, like, we just met that other fucking goddess. This is like a minute ago. That's like 5 minutes ago maximum.
And yeah, like it was about 20 minutes in the video, and now we're at about 25 minutes.
Yes.
And in that time, I committed one major atrocity for very little reason.
Yeah, for no reason. Let's be honest.
Really no reason. I could have just went. All I had to do was get that sham. By the way, sham riding mechanics used for less than 10 seconds.
Yes. And we're never coming back to that. Never going.
Oh God, no! Why would he need to? That place is entirely empty except for 2 Azkiel.
Mm-hmm. 3, no, 2 Azkiel.
And it's like, yeah, the real reason this is taking a half hour is because look at this fucking guy. We have to shove so much lore in here.
Mm-hmm. And
like, look, I don't know if you understand this. We can't cut any of this out.
And I'm trying to read this, but there's so much exposition that has not been established at all.
Well, we heard about Kushi Lane before.
We heard about it.
Yeah, so so long.
Well, you know who would have known about that? Probably that professor.
Oh, I mean, he might have if he wasn't dead now.
Well, yeah, well, we don't know that.
And it's like
dead.
you can kill so many more characters in this game because, you know, if you don't die to a demon, you just reincarnate as a different character.
Mm-hmm.
Nomad's soul is real fucked, isn't he?
Yeah, and
I mean me.
And what is going on with this this head? Like, what is this head? What is this thing?
He's the book, I guess.
Oh, okay.
It's such a magical book that it's also like a living entity. Whatever.
999,000 years.
And like nobody ever mentions the fact that you just like killed that guy. Nope, I'm gonna be the hero of all of Omikron. Totally cool dude that everybody loves. Nobody's gonna mention the fact that I just fucking murdered Sayao and the professor there.
I want to point out that 999,000 actually sounds much more awkward in French than it already does in English. Like,
Boy, does
it. Like 999 mille. And then there's no, it doesn't go on after that. Just like, oh, 999,000. Okay.
Do you think that this was originally recorded in French? Because we got David Bowie.
I feel
might
like
have been
David
originally
Bowie must
recorded
speak
in
French. He must have lived in France for at least 1 year.
True.
I don't know that for a fact. I feel like it has to be true. But like, he lived in Paris.
Should have set it to French then to see if we got a French David Bowie, because I would have liked to have. Okay, that was yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna look away from the book right now. Okay. Well, we're not entirely done with Hamashtagen.
Mm-hmm.
There is like a little bit more stuff to do. Basically, what you got to do is you got to go knock on. We have more dogs, more ghosts. You gotta go knock on 3 of these doors to get friendly ghosts, and if you knock on the wrong door, there's mean ghosts. And basically 2 of them are pretty easy to find. One of them, though, is pretty annoying because you have to basically jump down from kind of a height to get to. But it's like, as long as you know that, you can get through this area pretty quickly. You know, this the legendary gigantic necropolis of Hamashtagen was protected by 1,000 traps and spells.
I also want to point out those ghosts just seem like they're having fun. Like the dogs kind of attack you. The ghosts do not seem like they're attacking you. It seems like you are.
No, they would attack me a lot more if I got closer to them.
Oh,
with like virtually no animation, by the way.
Like they're having fun. They're just like they're swimming through the air.
Yeah, that's what I would call that.
A much more fluid swimming motion than you in the water. I want to point out.
Yeah, I'll say. By the way, let's go like take a look at one of these ghosts.
Hey, ghost, how you doing?
Looking good.
All right, that is an evil ghost, right?
No, that was a good ghost.
Okay.
The evil ghosts just start shooting at you as soon as you walk out. Okay, the evil ghosts actually don't have any animation. They just appear outside of the door and begin shooting at you, but which has no animation. They just kind of have like bolts emit from their body.
Okay.
It's hard to even explain just how bad this part is.
I'm not hearing the soundtrack. I'm assuming it's Claire de Lune now. Just
Nope. It's just the butt rock that you hear everywhere else in the game.
Okay.
Anyway, like I said, those 2 are the easy ones. The third one is the like kind of tricky one to get to, but at least I know where I'm going, because otherwise you're gonna be walking around in circles here. None of these enemies are difficult to fight.
Like the aquarium by Sanson, you know, just some like relaxing ocean music as they swim through the air. That's what it feels like the soundtrack should be, but I feel like it's just metal, you know, badass cyberpunk shit.
Butt rock, yeah. Yeah, this area you can't get to unless you jump down from there, and that's what's gonna mess you up if you don't know that, and certainly did in the other playthroughs that I watched. Anyway, there's all 3 ghosts. Again, Hamashtagen, Grand Necropolis of the Dead. Nobody has ever come back from here alive, etc.
100 traps. It's worse.
1,000 traps and spells protecting it.
Yeah, and it's worse than 1,000 years of torture.
Enduring torture is worse than 1,000 deaths, but like I said, they didn't have that part completed, so I just went back to possessing Psyop.
Also, I want to point out how this isn't even really... This is barely gameplay that you're doing right now. You're just...
Oh, yeah, no, this... I don't even know why they switched back from, like, the first-person section to, like, the normal gameplay. It was kind of jarring, to be honest.
Like, this does not add a lot.
It had to be in the game. It must be in the game. Hey, remember this place? The end of the first Witcher game, as I was saying? We're here.
Wow. So again, probably this feels like it was only put in there because it's all they had left, like, as an asset.
It's like, think about in the last, like, 20 minutes how many areas we've been to.
I know. It's like the scene from Forrest Gump where he's running the marathon. He's just running, like, if you just go, like, if you, the viewer on YouTube, go through this video and just click 5 random sections, you're probably going to find 4 different locales.
What probably would have been at least 4 hours of gameplay, ideally.
Well,
at least.
I mean, you say ideally, but let's be honest. We're pretty
not ideally for me. Oh God, no! The final boss of the game.
Also, I like that the snow...
I got it! Oh, thank God.
...is completely an effect that's just like, oh, it just has snowflakes, you know.
Which is never going to appear again.
Yep, we're done.
Barely appeared at all there.
We're done with that area. We done.
Yeah, we done.
Never going back again.
We have no reason to go back.
Guess who's back? Not us ever.
So, what's up?
So
great.
Now we're speaking to the third godlike character in the last 10 minutes.
The spirits of the dead.
And he's going to spit a lot of exposition at us. Again.
So you are the chosen one.
So
Nomad
sit back,
soul.
relax and
The man upon
just
whose
bathe in.
destiny of
You're just basically reading the script as David Cage wrote it at this
Are
point.
we? Is this is the Grand Moff of the Society or the
days
Legatee?
gone by.
No, this is an ancient king from the Cobalt Wars, 7,000 years ago.
So we don't ever meet the Legatee.
Remember
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
what
Huh.
a price humanity is at.
Well, actually, the Legatee would have appeared. There was a
Suffering.
oh,
So many deaths.
there's a specific like fighting tournament that you can get to, and apparently the Legatee does actually attend it. Yeah, obviously you can't talk to him or anything, but you can see him in the crowd. So that's a thing.
1,000 years ago.
One of the
Okay.
few places you're going to actually see his model in
Where
game.
its
A
magic
thousand
power
years
destroy
ago.
Asteroth comes from.
Yep. It was about like roughly 7,000 years ago.
Never be freed until
So
Asteroth
7,000
is
years.
slain.
Why are they saying 1,000? That's a million.
Okay.
After
I was
7
supposed to,
days,
don't you remember the part
7
where I was
nights,
supposed to be suffering fate worse than 1,000
Asteroth
deaths?
died,
Oh, okay.
fell to the ground, exhausted.
Or don't you remember how there was supposed to be 1,000? 1,000 is just how they say stuff around
I
here.
am just trying to keep up with this exposition. I have no idea.
There's
what's
just don't even. Who cares?
happening. Okay, here, yes.
Imbecile.
Look, we gotta go beat the big demon
Asteroth to the
Uh-huh.
one place.
to save my soul. Which again, already been saved. It's back in my body. Don't worry.
Return to the surface of
How much time do we have
I
left?
had no choice.
Let me take a look here. 16 minutes.
16 minutes. Now, somehow, despite going through 6 biomes in like less than an hour, I still feel like this is taking way too long. I don't.
It's because it's like 90% exposition using a bunch of dumb jargon garbage. What is a fandrine? Didn't they just spell a fandrine differently when we were talking to
I am
the other god?
were I to leave this
I'm pretty sure it wasn't spelled that way before. It's like, yeah, just a bunch of dumb garbage jargon that's getting spat at us because they didn't have time to actually make it come up organically.
Also, I want to point out, speaking of not coming up organically, this guy is moving his head a lot more than he should because he's wearing that hat.
Yeah, that's very true. Of course, this is like the first time he's moving in 7,000 years, I guess. I don't think he's doing too much of anything else around here. So maybe he just wanted to really,
use it better than I did.
give his neck a workout.
Rid the universe
And looking up and down over and over.
Master of darkness.
Go and kill Asteroth.
Your instinct. I'd never lose control.
Yeah, and this is really, this just feels like a WoW quest line. I don't know how else to describe this section.
Well, I mean, instead of being in like one of the oh, okay. We made our way to Ice Crown is what I was going to say.
And the thing is, when you
All right,
introduce-
well, time for the next character death. Sorry, Photo, you're now stuck outside of Omikron in the frozen wastes.
Now, here's a good thing about introducing a character 5 minutes before the ending. It has a lot of emotional.
Oh, he's such an important character. What are you talking about?
This is
Also, I got to kill Photo, the guy who had said it was a mega honor to meet me, and now he's stuck outside of the dome in a temporal garbage pit.
Sorry.
Bye. Thanks for using your sham to move a rock out of the way once.
Also, we're just erasing increasingly ancient beings that had no ill will towards us. That were.
I'm not even just no ill will. He loved us.
Yes.
And now he's dead.
Photo was a great man.
Yeah. And now he's dead. I killed him.
He was single-handedly holding up that civilization.
Well, considering that there were like the only other two people that existed, there were just guards of
Yes.
another godlike being.
He was the only one. He was a humble farmer. He was the Kinkonatus of the Asbreets or whatever the fuck.
Azkiel.
Azkiel.
Look,
okay.
it's hard to remember these names when they were only introduced 10 minutes ago.
And they were only introduced. They were just like Aztecs, maybe, something like that, maybe.
I mean, basically.
I like that we have no emotional resonance with this character because he was just introduced in literally the last scene.
Final boss.
Like we do not give a shit about our protagonist because he is just
It's
completely.
Asteroth. He's here. And he's going to give us more exposition.
I have waited so long.
I've waited so long for you to walk behind the gate behind your throne to come and face me. Because apparently that's all you need to do.
And honestly, okay, for someone who has been set up for this incredible reveal, not very impressive outside of maybe the face. The face is kind of interesting.
The face is pretty wacky looking.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. It's
the
a
face,
striking
but
stuff.
like, look at the rest of the body. It's just kind of like an insect carapace with, a big shoulder blades. It's
A WoW mid-boss in Ice Crown.
yeah, very much just polygons all around. Like you are very aware that this boss was made of polygons.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of the era that this is created.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you had Bowser's face atop just a person's body. Okay, that's kind of weird.
That would be pretty weird.
Actually, that's pretty. Yeah, somebody should do that.
That would work.
Oh yeah, that'd be a lot interesting than this asshole. This Asteroth.
Okay. So yeah, this is the fourth character that we've encountered in like the past 15 minutes. It's just been exposition.
Yeah, we were just going through an increasing series of demigods, and
like the best part is that it's like the going from the pocket dimension to fighting Asteroth was literally just a portal behind the throne. They gave up entirely even trying to have any sort of flow of events.
I mean,
and they're just like, fuck it. Here's a portal that just leads to the final boss.
And I have to say, like, if we're gonna throw stones, we have to also throw some stones at Half-Life 1, which basically ended with this, except the final boss was just a fetus or something. But I mean,
certainly
that was like
they
one
didn't try to
level.
build it up like this was this huge thing.
Yeah, they weren't like, oh, that's gonna be this amazing confrontation. No, it's like, okay, and then you go into this weird side quest that doesn't really matter, but you had.
Yeah, and Zen sucks. Nobody likes that part of the game.
Yep.
And it is very similar. I mean, I would even say, like, stylistically, there's some good comparisons to be made. But it's just, like, needless to say, you didn't have 10 minutes of exposition from various characters that just lead you directly to the final boss.
And one thing that Half-Life 1 had that Omikron really never nailed is they got a sequel, and that they nailed it. I thought they did a good job with that Half-Life 3 did.
But we were even talking about this before we were doing the episode, where it's just like, this is the first game that Quantic Dream made, and this was David Cage's, like, perfect ideal game.
Yes.
Which is quite a bold attempt. But also, I could not imagine them making this game at any other point in time.
Yeah. It's one of those games where if it was made any later, it would have been completely derided as like, oh, this overambitious, underperforming game. If it was released any earlier, it would have been too ambitious, and they would have said, no, fuck you, just make a Zelda game or something. Just make another Mario.
You can't make a game that does this much stuff.
But
it's like, hey, you got the minimal enough graphics. By the way, Asteroth here gets some sort of weird filter on his voice that makes me think that they were supposed to have that for his entire speech. Instead of just kind of sounding like a guy, but whatever. Yeah, it's like before this, it's like they wouldn't have even been able to do it. Wouldn't have been possible. After this, it would have been even more expensive to make a game like this. If you're trying to do it with like more modern graphics.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
At some point...
This boss fight is fucking garbage. So first thing you need to do is go and shoot these crystals. What are they supposed to be? Who cares? Fuck you. Second, there's like the actual fight, which is even worse. But I mean, here, as you can see, the hitboxes are all over the goddamn place, so whatever. Thankfully, it doesn't do that much damage, but that's also probably because I have it on easy mode. What are you gonna do?
And again, easy mode only seems to come up like once in a blue moon. It's just like, okay, well, just imagine what this would be like on hard mode.
I don't want to. Yeah. Because, okay, let's talk about the actual fight with Asteroth himself. This eventually did take me about, like, 20 minutes to do, but that's because of, like, that jump is entirely unavoidable, period. And does quite a bit of damage to you, especially at later. You have to shoot him in his back. By shooting him enough, and for some reason he got stun locked here, I wasn't going to question it. Well, like, yeah, you can shoot him in his front, and that will eventually stun him, but the stun is, like, very short and inconsistent as to how you get it. It just seems to randomly happen. And if you get close to him, you know, because you have to circle strafe around him, it's like he just jumps on you. And he moves faster and faster as he loses health, to the point that it's like you can't avoid a lot of his attacks, and it's just a dumb DPS race. But I managed to, like, stun lock him somehow early in the fight, so
again, like,
whatever.
This reminds me of WoW. Again, I keep coming back to that for this episode. It feels like okay, this would be a fine, like, little boss in a WoW game. Like, okay, you know, just in an expansion, just okay, this is like a random dungeon. Okay.
Oh, and by the way, did you like how I didn't actually use the sword until the very end here? We did this whole thing to go get a sword, and then 90% of what I did to beat him was just shoot him with my stupid power rod.
I also like that part where you just roll out of the way, like, dramatically, like, like, that would be really cool in a movie, but it was not cool in this context.
No, it just looked dumb.
It just looked like, okay,
it looked like they had it looked like David Cage was, again, like, getting all of his computers taken away from him by the debt collectors. As he's just like, I don't know, combat roll, whatever. Oh, look, it's Ix, the supercomputer that controls the entirety of the city. It's on fire. Hooray!
Man, what is going on with this ending?
What do you mean? We beat the final boss. Hey, look, it even had, like, a big face.
That's the computer's face, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. And
we didn't really get to see it when it wasn't on fire.
But it's on fire now, and so everything's
It is
good.
on fire now.
Well, now that it's done...
Oh, apparently while we were doing that, the Awakened ones destroyed the machine and did an entire revolution.
I love that this is just like, this is so low. Like, this is supposed to be the highest stakes thing that has ever happened in human history, and it's just like, well, what is happening here? Like, what am I doing?
I mean, the fighting must have been terrible when there was fighting in the palace.
Yeah.
You know.
That would have been terrible to include. And
Oh, hey, speaking of Legatee Reshef, you were asking about him earlier.
Uh-huh.
There he is.
He's just dead.
He's just dead.
He died in the revolution, and...
Yeah, you know, when the Awakened ones were doing the revolution. You know.
Oh, yeah, so the much more interesting thing was happening off camera. And as well...
Yep. I was fighting a demon and talking to 5 different NPCs that had a lot of exposition to give me. And during that time, they were attacking everybody.
Okay, Star Wars Medal Ceremony music is playing now.
You right on the money.
Because I can't hear any of the music in voice acting, so if that was really on the nose, then I totally...
I don't remember what the music sounded like, but I assume probably.
Okay.
Hey, it's all of my good friends. David Bowie, that one annoying gray guy that gave me those rings during each one of the worst sections of the game.
The
Jenna,
guy you just met 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, the one woman I met 10 minutes ago.
And
of course Dagobah. Thanks, dude. We haven't seen you for a while, actually. You would have thought they would have came up before I went to Hamashtagen, but whatever. By the way, who are you?
I am the renegade sorcerer.
This is really messed up.
Oh, I'm dying.
Sullied by
So Yika's father. Okay.
Yeah, I told you we were going to eventually get an explanation for who that guy was.
Again.
sacrificed my honor to save the life of my...
Oh, shit.
I could not leave you at the mercy of I used my magic.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Now, my brother sorcerer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is just.
Oh.
Will be able to explain.
This is just so sad. Like we're done with the world of Omikron.
Yeah.
Thank you. No matter.
I think that's a perfect way to describe it. It's just so sad.
Brought back my father and
Yeah,
restored
they regained their pride. They're no longer regarded as animals. You know, when that was a
the
thing.
Asteroth
I
restored
can't.
their pride.
I still get
They
this.
fought valiantly for the chance to free us, and now they are regarded as pets, not as animals. All you have
This
done.
is the ending, baby.
Killed David Bowie. He died when he saw this. Like he didn't play it because he just never had the time. He was so busy recording.
The last skirmish
He-
ending in the streets. We
He finally
Thanks,
got a
David
chance
Bowie.
to see everything,
ordinary,
and it killed him.
which our descendants
just-
will recount from generation
like-
to generation. And
I'm
we
sorry,
owe
it inspired his last album, and then it killed him.
You
I
helped
did-
us win back our freedom. For us all, you are now
I-
legendary heroes.
I just love, yeah. So he
The
gets to
last
take
skirmish
Stanley
is
there,
ending in the
he's
I
streets.
shall try to take a material form again and leave
You know,
this cursed
the skirmishes
that has kept me prisoner for centuries.
and the trusts were destroyed.
Thank you for all.
This
Oh,
all
man.
happened while I was talking to Kushalain, I guess.
I'll never forget you.
You have accomplished your destiny, Nomad.
Congratulations. Fuck!
You can boast of such exploits.
This is the ending of Omikron.
Yeah, no, it literally reminds me. It's just the end of Evangelion.
But
They're
an
just
extended
saying
Congratulations,
You're-
Shinji.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations, Nomado.
It's like the ending of Star Wars, except they decided they just needed like 10 minutes of dialogue.
My heart is sad to see
And-
you
It's
leave us
just
now
like,
that we have
yeah,
achieved
we
our goal.
talked to Asteroth there. We
will turn
talked to
Omikron into a paradise,
several of these
and your memory
characters.
shall be engraved in each of us.
It's like, okay, so
And-
you know what? It's
Oh,
like the,
fuck off, Jenna.
Another place.
Fuck off, your
we could have
bullshit.
loved each other and lived happily
This
together.
is.
Fate
Fuck you.
has decided otherwise.
Fuck you and fuck you, David Cage.
I'm just picturing the end of Star Wars, but they just have Watto.
Watto being like, and Annie, I loved you.
Amongst us.
Let's get married.
And Darth Vader, yes.
You must
Just,
go back to your own
he gets
And
him
also-
up to it.
your own destiny.
It's me, Darth Vader, and I wanted to thank you for saving all of the universe.
Omikron and the
And here's my good friend Obi-Wan Kenobi, who has been helping you out the entire time.
your soul.
Yeah,
Make
it's
good
like,
use of it. May
Oh, you're. He will probably seem ordinary to you. Fuck you all. You
Yoda.
all had so many chances to help me. I mean, okay, maybe Matamvakus and Boz couldn't really do much more than what they were already doing, but like Dagobah, you
Yeah.
were supposed to be some sort of super sorcerer, and fuck this, we're done.
yeah.